tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
Every day, community, supporting, giving. Every day at APS, we support Arizona community organizations and our customers, giving back to help Arizona teachers, nonprofits, and families, volunteering to support and strengthen neighborhoods, working with local partners to provide customers with crisis assistance and other services when they need it most. To help your community or find assistance for yourself or someone you know, visit aps.com/brighter. This ad is funded by Pinnacle West shareholders.
Why do 80% of NFL players have a Sleep Number smart bed?
Matthew Stafford here with the LA Rams. Because when I get high-quality sleep, I make high-quality plays. But that's not the only reason.
Hi, me, Kelly Stafford. I'm the other reason. He likes his side firm and cool, and I like my side soft, warm, and cozy.
Sleep Number does that and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting.
You're the number one reason, by the way.
During our Cyber Week sale, save 20% on most Sleep Number smart beds, plus free home delivery with any base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com. Official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
ASU football. This is the State of the Sun Devils pregame show with Jeremy Schnell, Jesse Morrison, and Damon Allred.
Touchdown, Sun Devils!
Hello and welcome into State of the Sun Devils pregame show for the Big 12 championship game. I'm here inside AT&T Stadium. My name is Jeremy Schnell, and back at the Auction Community Studios are my two partners, Damon Allred and Jesse Morrison. What's up, guys? How you doing back there?
Doing great. This is awesome.
Yeah, what a day it's going to be, guys. Just wanted to mention also, typically you guys would be hearing Bunker to Bunker right now. They're off this week due to the Big 12 championship.
And Jeremy just went out for a little bit, so we will typically you would be hearing Bunker to Bunker. So because of this Big 12 championship game, it's ASU pregame coverage starting with the State of the Sun Devils pregame show. Jeremy, do you got us? All right, Damon, let's just start then. This is an awesome experience for ASU to be out here at in the Big 12 championship. Just, what does this mean for the program?
Yeah, I mean, let's do a quick reset of where we are right now. Boise State obviously played in the Mountain West Championship last night. They pretty handily beat UNLV, took care of business at home on the blue turf. And so that leaves ASU in a bit of a precarious position if they're looking to get a bye into the college football playoff, because that means Boise State is pretty much guaranteed that bye now, and the only chance that they have to still get a bye would really be Clemson beating SMU and point differential, kind of working some things out in ASU's favor. But yeah, that's where we are going into today at Arlington.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great for.
Am I back?
You are back, Jeremy.
He's back.
There we go. All right. I was kind of scrambling here.
No,
was not prepared to drive, so.
I know. Listen, I would love to drive today. ASU, they had a bus that drove all the way over here. You know that? They had a whole bus full of equipment. Isn't that crazy?
I heard there were
drive.
multiple equipment trucks.
Yeah. So I heard you guys talking a little bit about what this game means for the program, and it's so important to talk about where this team has come from, right? 2 years in a row they had 3 wins, Jesse, and now they're at a point where Kenny Dillingham has brought them to Dallas in one of the biggest stadiums, not just in the country, in the entire world.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible that they're in Texas playing this game at Jerry World.
Everything's bigger here, right?
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas. It's just the high school football is super big in Texas, so this is a great opportunity for ASU to put its footprint in Texas. And this is so good for recruiting. I can't put even any more emphasis on how great this is for recruiting.
Yeah, and Damon, I wanted to talk a little bit about just how this week has gone for me. Like on Friday, we got in Saturday or Thursday night, and then yesterday, Friday, Luke did his show, Wolf and Luke. You can listen to that show every day from 10 to 2 every weekday from 10 to 2. So he did his show, and thanks to Tim Hovick for getting us out here and putting that on. And then afterward, we went, picked up our credentials. We went back over to Texas Live, and boy, was that a scene. You could see Iowa State fans, ASU fans. Tim Hovick had a roped-off area for a bunch of ASU fans, and then obviously you saw all the social media posts yesterday, Damon, of all the ASU fans at Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers getting their scatter burgers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The QB10 wraps as well. Big showing out there for the ASU NIL stuff.
Yep. All right. So let's get to the nitty-gritty, right? So Boise State did not lose yesterday. So what does that mean for ASU or Iowa State today? Well, if one of those teams is going to win, obviously. They need SMU to lose today, right? Because if that happens, then most likely whoever wins this game today behind me is going to get a first-round bye, Jesse.
Yeah, I personally do not think that Boise State should get a first-round bye over either of those teams, no matter what happens.
He's going Brett Yormark on him.
Yeah, I'm going Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12. He was talking earlier this week about how he just doesn't see why a group of 5 team would get in over a Power 4 team. And I agree. I think that the Big 12 conference this year has been much stronger than the Mountain West. Boise State, the best thing on their resume is a loss to Oregon, and that's still a loss. It's not a win. Yes, Oregon is the top team in the country. I think they are the best team in the country. But Boise State, they lost to them. A loss is a loss, in my opinion. And so I think that the Big 12 the resume of Arizona State and Iowa State is bigger than Boise State, and even probably even SMU. I don't know about Clemson because they have 3 losses, but at least those 3 schools from the Power 4 conferences definitely deserved a first round bye over a team from the Mountain West that doesn't have a good win on its schedule, really.
Yeah, it's amazing to me how we've gone so far to value good losses more than good wins. I mean, if ASU wins this game today, they've gone 3 out of 4 weeks beating a top 20 team. And Boise State, like you mentioned, the only top 20 team they've played at any point this season, it was a loss. And sure, it was probably the best single loss of any single loss teams in the country. But like we've said, I feel like wins should matter more. And strength of schedule just is not mattering as much as it should. And Brett Yormark has made that point.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think that also, you've got to factor in Boise State's been basically the Gonzaga of college football for, the last 25 years, something like that. And so they've got a big brand, the blue turf, all that stuff. And I think, again, like Brett Yormark said about the logo thing, I think it's coming into play here a little bit. And it's unfortunate. And the committee's got to kind of change its ways of doing things.
You guys still got me?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're good. we're problem solving over here. Obviously, also SMU lost to the team that ASU beat a couple weeks ago, right?
Big transitive property guy, Jeremy.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because the College Football Playoff Committee, they've always said records don't matter in the past. If you have quality wins and you're peaking at the right time of the season, then obviously, that's a big deal. So, but for SMU, 1 loss. Now they're saying that one matters?
I mean, yeah, it's just really, really interesting. Really, just it's kind of a flawed system. Maybe go back to the computers.
This would be the first conference championship win for either of the 2 schools. ASU hosted the Pac-12 championship game back in 2013. That was against Stanford. We won't talk about the result of that one. But, yeah, ASU, Iowa State today. Iowa State was in the 2020 Big 12 championship game. They lost to Oklahoma in that one. ASU's first 10-win season since 2014, and then, of course, this is Iowa State's first ever 10-win season, and also the first ever matchup between these two teams, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa State, they've been a pretty good program for the past few years. Obviously, you know, for Arizona people, Brock Purdy kind of elevated that program. They went to the Fiesta Bowl. It was a cool story because it was Brock Purdy versus Tyler Shuck, two Arizona kids going head-to-head in the 2020 season, and Iowa State won that game. So that was a big season for them. So, you know, one thing about Iowa State that they have a slight advantage on here is they have 3 guys from that team, is what Matt Campbell said. And they have a coach, Matt Campbell, who has been, although he lost, he has played in this game before, or coached in this game before. And so that, you know, might be a little bit of an advantage for Iowa State here. And then for ASU, you know, it's just cool to see them play somebody different. Like that's been the cool thing about this year, is like matchups that we don't normally see ASU play, and I've found that to be fun this year. New teams, new faces, new fan bases coming in. It's been, you know, when you play the same teams over and over again every year, I mean, it's cool, but it's also gets kind of stale to just see Washington, see Oregon State every year. It's like the same teams. So this is another opportunity for ASU to play a new opponent.
Yeah, and Damon, if you look at just the awards that ASU has received this week, you would think that they have a significant advantage in this game, especially in the coaching, because they have the Coach of the Year in Kenny Dillingham in the Big 12. First team All Big 12, you got Cam Scadaboo, Jordan Tyson, Lee Fontenot, Xavier Alford. They are all on first team All Big 12. That is a stark contrast to what we saw last year in the Pac-12. They, I think, only had a couple guys in.
And there he goes again. They only had a couple guys last year in that made those the Pac-12 championship. But I'll go through these real quick before.
All Pac-12.
Yeah, for made the All Pac-12 team. So I'll go through these. You know, Coach of the Year, Kenny Dillingham. Offensive Newcomer of the Year, Jordan Tyson. Offensive Freshman of the Year, Sam Levitt. First team Big 12, Cam Scadaboo, Jordan Tyson, who's not playing, Lee Faltanu, as Jeremy said, and Xavier Alford. Second team, you had Sam Levitt, Shimon Mateer, CJ Fight, Keyshawn Elliott. Iowa State had just one first team All Big 12. That was their punt returner, kick returner, Jalen Noel, who's really good, or Knoll, I'm sorry, Jalen Knoll. And then they had 4 guys make the second team, and then some guys make the honorable mentions. They did have more honorable mentions than ASU, but I think that ASU having more first teamers and second teamers makes more sense. So, you know, I think that, yeah, I mean, from just the awards, ASU is the better team if you're going straight off of that.
And I think that, you know, if Tyson was playing in this game, we're going to get into him a little bit more after the break. But I think, you know, with Tyson out, that talent disparity, the disparity of first-teamers, all that gets brought down a little bit. Obviously, Tyson had one of the best seasons of any Big 12 receiver this year. I think we'll get into this in the predictions too, but I think when Tyson went out and we got all that confirmation that he wouldn't play in this game, I think that's when my confidence level went from very high to only slightly high, and we'll kind of get into that with predictions. But, yeah, just a very large group of talent here in this game. Obviously, with it being the championship game, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, and we will get into more of the, you know, nitty-gritty of the matchup and then make our predictions when we come back here on the State of the Sun Devils pregame show on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
ASU football. State of the Sun Devils pregame show with Jeremy Schnell, Jesse Morrison, and Damon Allred.
Welcome back to the pregame show. Big 12 championship game. I'm live here from Jerry World. My name is Jeremy Schnell. My two co-workers and counterparts are back at the station. Jesse Morrison, Damon Allred, back at the Auction Community Studio. What a day it's going to be, guys. If ASU can win this game. And what do they have to do, Jesse? They got to run the dang ball. Iowa State is not good at stopping the run. ASU is good at running the ball, I would say. They got this guy named Cam Scottaboo. Possibly should have been Offensive Player of the Year in the Big 12, but we won't get into that today, right, guys?
Yeah, I mean, quarterbacks win those awards. I get it. So, yeah, but, I mean, they've got to run the ball in this game. You look at Iowa State, like, ASU, they've played bad run defenses this season, but not this bad. Like, this is a game where Scat needs to have 30 carries and Kyson Brown needs to have 10. They need to run the ball 40 times. The Iowa State's run defense is the second worst run defense in all of Power 4. So they're absolutely terrible. When I was watching the Kansas State game, yeah, there was maybe the biggest hole I have ever seen for DJ Giddens on one of the runs there, and he just broke through it, and there was I could have run for a first down through, and I'm slow. I'm so slow.
Calm down, Jesse.
I'm telling you, I could have run for a first down with what they were doing. So that is so key, especially with Jordan Tyson out.
I was just going to say that. Damon, what do you think needs to happen? Who do you think needs to step up today to fill that void?
Well, I think Jesse did a good job of mentioning it last night on the Devils Go Down to Dallas special. Shout out Mitch Feraldis. Scottaboo has a chance to be, he's the leading receiver on the team in terms of production overall on the season. Now that Tyson's out, I think he's got a chance to have a real receiving impact in this game, especially if Iowa State starts selling out to, stack the box and stop the run. They're not a team that has stacked the box much in the past. It's a lot of 3-man lines, 5-man fronts, 6-man fronts. We remember back at the Mississippi State game earlier in the season, ASU saw the light fronts and they took it personally. This might be the kind of game where they take things personally, but on the receiving side of it, I think Xavier Guillory has shown up in each of the last few weeks with some big plays. I think he has a chance to do that again. If you watch the Iowa State-Kansas State tape, Iowa State will give up a few big plays in the passing game. It's just not the steady dose of, 10-yard completion, 10-yard completion. It's more like they'll break every now and then. So I think Guillory has a chance to capitalize on that. Troy O'Meara was the one that came into the starting lineup this week in practice without Tyson there. Malik McClain also getting a few first-team reps. We can talk about, him having maybe the nastiest route that I've seen in practice all year. But yeah, it's really cool that new rule was added this year where redshirt players can play and not impact their redshirt status.
Yes,
games?
Malik McClain. So this is how crazy college sports have gotten. Malik McClain could play 9 games this year potentially, and
could play
be
more.
able to come back next season. Yeah, no, I'm saying if they go up to 9 games, he could play this year if ASU would does not get a first round bye and then goes all the way to the national championship and he plays in every game. He would be able to come back after playing 9 games. So there's really no rules anymore, but I'm glad that they get a reinforcement back. I mean, he's put up okay numbers in his college career. So anybody at this point, because Jordan Tyson is out and you need people to fill that void. I think another guy that is a really good option to fill that void, and as to talk about the downfield passing thing, even though he is a tight end, like he's made some downfield plays, especially last week, and that's Shimon Mateer. Like, I mean, Shimon is the leading receiver that's not a running back right now. So I think Shimon is a really good option for today to step up in place of Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, Jesse, I wanted to, you're the biggest Shimon Mateer fan I know, actually. You bring him up almost every show without fail. And, I mean, with good reason. He's a very good tight end. But if ASU wants to win this game, it's really got to go through Scadaboo and Levitt. And I think Levitt's going to use his legs a lot today. It's going to be interesting to see because obviously run defense isn't just the running backs. You got to look for guys like wide receivers to get out on reverses or the stuff like that. But obviously Levitt has used his legs very well this season, and I would expect him to do that again today.
I think he will, which is interesting. We haven't really seen him use his legs too much since he returned from that injury. So it'll be interesting to see if he kind of uses his legs like he did earlier in the season today, because I mean, that's another guy that needs to carry the ball a lot in this game, because again, this run defense is really bad, and Sam Levitt is a really solid runner. And if ASU is going to win this game, obviously, like we've said, they have to run the ball. And, Scat can't carry the ball every single time, or else,
Why not? I would love for that.
Because, a 45 carry game, probably not good, especially if they don't get a first round bye.
Ron Wolfley would love that.
He would, but I don't think that's good for Scat and what ASU wants to do moving forward. And he's gone again. We lost him again. We
can talk about the quarterback matchup.
Yeah, let's talk about the quarterback matchup.
You guys mentioned Levitt's run game already a little bit. He's been running it as much as he possibly can, as much as he can get away with it. From the contact aspect of it, since that injury, he's still been running just a lot, even though, he might be affected by some of those things, or may have been affected by some of those things in the past. But on the other side of this, Rocco Becht was an honorable mention All-Big 12 guy. His dad, Anthony Becht, joined Wolf and Luke this week. I thought it was funny that Wolf has been lobbying for him to be the West Virginia coach.
He is lobbying for him to be the West Virginia coach, Anthony Becht.
Yeah, it's fun. You've joked about maybe Rocco follows his dad if Anthony gets the job, but
maybe
we don't need to talk about that stuff right now. Levitt this year was Pro Football Focus's 11th best Power 4 quarterback in the regular season, and he has fewer turnover-worthy plays than anyone ahead of him. He's only on 3 of this season, which I think is an incredible stat. And Becht, meanwhile, had 14 turnover-worthy plays just over the last 6 games. So with Rocco Becht, we're kind of, I thought it was funny. The PFF guys kind of used a term, the Rocco coaster. I think that's a good term to use. He will put some balls in jeopardy. There was a throw he had last week against Kansas State toward the end of the first half that definitely should have been a pick six. There was another play later in the game that definitely should have been an interception, and just defensive backs weren't making plays. We know that this ASU defense, though, is a defense that makes plays. They have 11 interceptions in their last 7 games, including 1 in each of those games. So I think that this is a real chance for the secondary to kind of feast in this game.
Yeah, they have a good opportunity to get some turnovers for sure. Watching Rocco Becht, he's definitely, like, my opinion was, he's out there slinging it. Like, he is just somebody that he's a bit of a gunslinger, is what I would say. His completion percentage, not great. And he's also he has a kind of a funky delivery. I don't know if you noticed that as well. But you know, he is good. He comes off as kind of a gamer to me.
He throws a lot of.
Hey, look, it's Jeremy.
Yeah.
There he
Hi,
is.
guys. I moved the laptop to Wi-Fi, so let's see if that works. Inside baseball. But here's what I'll say about Rocco Becht. He throws a lot of passes into double coverage. He likes to try and fit it into windows. Sometimes he can't do that. But for him, last week, 2 interceptable passes that did not go for interception. I think he has something like 8 passes this season that were high danger throws, according to PFF. So, and with the interceptions that he has, it's you know, he can put the ball into danger, and that's something that ASU's defense does well, Damon, in turning other teams over.
Yeah, X Alford was a first-team All Big 12 guy. Miles Rouser was an honorable mention All Big 12 guy. It was funny. I noticed Iowa State has 5 defensive backs that are either on one of the All Big 12 teams or honorable mentions, so they just have a ridiculous secondary on their side, which, you know, is going to make it harder for ASU to function without Tyson. But on the ASU defensive side, they've got some real problems to deal with in 6'4" Jaden Higgins and 5'11" Jalen Knoll, who, like we mentioned earlier,
you
Knoll
stole
is
my thunder. I was just about to bring those guys up. I was just listen. Knoll's really good, but Higgins, he is a star, dude. That guy can really run routes. ASU's got their hands full today, definitely in the secondary. It kind of goes back to they've been stopping the run pretty well over the past. I would say about half of the season, the second half of the season, they've really been able to bop running backs other than the UCF game, but we won't talk about that. But in order to really win this game, it's got to be the secondary, Damon.
Yeah, I mean, guys with real chances to make plays, like we mentioned, Rouser and Alford, but, also Javen Robinson, Keith Abney on the outside. But I think this is a really good chance for LT Welch to get in the game and make a real impact. He's had some interceptions this season. I think he's been getting gradually better as the season has gone on, and he's kind of gotten further removed from some injuries that have hurt him. I think that he's got a real chance to be one of the stars of the game on the defensive side of the ball.
Jesse, what do you think about the secondary? What should we see from them today? Do you think they double one of those 2 guys, or do you think they just play it straight up, play zone like they have been?
I think that they should probably double some of these guys up because we've seen that ASU doesn't have the best pass rush, so probably the best option is just to double up these guys. So that would be what I would do if I was ASU.
In terms of special teams, Iowa State has a very good kicker, which is interesting to see because ASU struggled in the kicking game this season. Their kicker was second team All Big 12. We'll see what happens with ASU's kicking situation. Obviously, Parker Lewis missed the 22, 23-yard field goal, whatever it was last week. So we'll see who ASU trots out there, if they trot anyone out there today, Damon.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Kenny, for the last few weeks, has shown he's just going to go for it on 4th down every time, regardless.
You think Floyd hits the whatchamacallit, the jumbo
upright from 21 yards?
No, I'm saying, do you think Floyd hits the jumbotron today? A lot of the punters
good
can
point.
do
The
that.
Jerry World.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too big.
All right, let's get to predictions. Jesse, go.
All right. This entire week I've been thinking Iowa State because of the coaching experience, but I watched this run defense and I've just got to go ASU. I'm going to say 31-21.
Damon.
I totally saw that coming, that he was going to pivot last minute. But anyway, I think it's going to be a close one. I think that it'll probably be 28-27-ish ASU. I have a good feeling that it might come down to the last drive, and Sam Levitt just, really lets it rip on the last drive.
That would be fun. I think ASU wins this one as well. I'm going to go 28-14. ASU wins in a close matchup, but I think ASU gets the ball at the end and then scores a touchdown to really put Iowa State away. That's going to do it for this edition of State of the Sun Devils, a pregame edition. here on Arizona Sports. Thank you so much to Sean Crespin for helping me out today with all the technical issues. For also Bunker to Bunker, don't forget about them. Thank you so much to those guys.
And Kevin McCabe for clearing the way as well.
Yep, and Kevin McCabe as well. They will be back next week. For Jesse Morrison, Damon Allred, I'm Jeremy Schnell. We'll see you after the game.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay.